My daughter took my entire Social Security check and went on a beach vacation, leaving me alone and hungry. She thought I'd beg when she came back, but the moment she opened the refrigerator, her smile disappeared forever. My daughter took my Social Security check and ran off to the beach, leaving me with no food. She returned, sun-kissed and smiling, expecting me to beg for help. But when she opened the refrigerator for dinner, she screamed, "Greetings, dear listeners." Before I begin my story, a story of betrayal, and how I chose myself, I ask you to support this channel. Please subscribe and hit the like button. It helps stories like this be heard. Write in the comments what city or country you're listening from. It always warms my spirit to see how many of us are out there. Now enjoy the story. The front door had slammed 3 hours ago, but the heavy, sugary scent of Quintessa's perfume lingered in the hallway. That fragrance always seemed intrusive, too loud for our old brownstone, where the air was used to smelling of dust and dried lavender. I stood in the kitchen, staring at the pantry door. Silence filled the house, absolute ringing silence. I used to love it. It meant peace after a long day at the sewing machine. My eyes tired from tiny stitches, my back aching from endless stooping. But today, the silence felt predatory. It waited. My stomach twisted. I was hungry, just ordinary human hunger, the kind that grows sharp by evening. I approached the cabinet. The hinges creaked as if complaining about the disturbance. The shelves were terrifyingly empty. Quintessa had packed in a rush, darting around like a bright tropical bird trapped in a cage, tossing bikinis, sundresses, and tanning lotions into her suitcase. I remembered her at the doorway, already wearing her shoes, holding out her hand. "Mama, give me your card, just in case. What if the ATM doesn't work?" But I tried to protest, feeling a chill down my spine. That's my whole Social Security check. What am I supposed to live on for 2 weeks? "Don't start," she said, rolling her eyes. She snatched the card. "You've got a full jar of grits. Boil them up, add a little butter. It's beautiful. Good for detox. Doctors advise a diet at your age. Don't invent problems." She deserved this vacation, she added, and left. She flew to Miami, to sun, cocktails, and leisure, taking my money, my peace of mind, and, as it turned out, my food. I reached for the top shelf where the old glass jar of grits sat, labeled in my handwriting from 20 years ago. The jar felt suspiciously light. I opened it. At the bottom, among gray dust, lay a few lonely grains. Not enough to feed a sparrow, let alone me. She had or simply didn't care. My chest went cold. Not a draft, but an ice that grew from inside. The realization that the person I raised wasn't just selfish, she was cruel. I closed the jar, the sound of glass on wood ringing like a gunshot. I had to do something. Quintessa often left coins scattered about. Maybe I could find something. I headed to her room. Chaos reigned, clothes on chairs, open lipsticks, crumpled receipts. I searched methodically. Under a stack of magazines, I found nothing. In a jewelry dish, empty. Then a crumpled sheet near the trash. A printout of her hotel reservation and flight itinerary. The total cost hit me immediately. 2 weeks of beach luxury equaled 3 months of my benefits. 3. For years, I had patched my old stockings, turned coats inside out to remake them, denied myself small pleasures to buy her the best shoes, the latest styles. I walked out of her room, shutting the door firmly, cutting myself off from the smell of betrayal. The living room met me with silent grandeur. Antique oak buffet, crystal, fine Limoges porcelain treasures for $12, mostly unused. The silver tea service from my grandmother. Fur coats smelling of mothballs, which Quintessa dismissed as dust collectors, worth a fortune. This wasn't a home. It was a museum. I wasn't the mistress, I was the unpaid curator. I shuffled in worn slippers, dusted the exhibits, starved so visitors could take everything without thanks. My stomach growled, but it was mixed with something else. Clarity. Crystal clear. I found the ad I'd circled in pencil a week ago. Mr. Alistair Sterling buys antiques, porcelain, silver, rarities, house calls. I dialed. Each turn of the rotary dial felt like cracking a safe containing my own life. "Hello," came a polite, raspy male voice. "Mr. Sterling? This is Uli. I have early 20th century sterling silver flatware to sell." He came promptly the next morning. I showed him the 12 silver spoons, massive with intricate engraving. Quintessa had adored them, dreaming of using them at her wedding. He offered a sum 5 months of my checks. Normally, I would have taken it and hidden the money, but today, something else awakened inside me. I demanded 40% more, confident in their value. He laughed, acknowledging my shrewdness, and agreed. I carried the money in my purse and walked downtown to the Epicurean market, a place I hadn't been in 15 years. Prices bit hard, but I didn't care. I bought prosciutto, Virginia ham, aged Parmesan, truffle brie olives, a warm baguette, and imported peaches. Seafood, smoked salmon, champagne. Back home, I set the table properly. Snow-white tablecloth, gold-rimmed porcelain, silverware. I arranged everything with care. I ate slowly, savoring each bite, the taste of freedom, the taste of existence, of being important. I finished crumbs on the plate and placed the gourmet receipt in the empty sideboard, a replacement for family silver. Dinner, just dinner. Weeks passed. I woke with the sun, ate croissants, sipped rich tea, sipped wine. Then the phone rang. Quintessa. "Oh, Mama, still alive? But you're starving on porridge," she sneered from the beach, oblivious to the truth. "I'm managing," I said calmly, the velvety taste of wine washing away her words. She laughed, smug, thinking she had broken me. I smiled at the reflection in the window. "Resources," I said softly. Resources she never suspected existed. The next day, Mr. Sterling arrived for another appraisal. I handed him the brooch Quintessa's favorite, an antique ruby and diamond piece she treated as hers. He appraised it, twice the spoon's price. The history ended. The ruby became my shield, my independence. I used the money to buy a week of luxury groceries. Delivery arrived. The refrigerator became an edible treasure trove. Caviar, truffles, cheeses, champagne, exotic fruits. The shelves groaned under the abundance. Quintessa returned, expecting a frail, hungry victim. Instead, she found spacious light, fragrant lilies in the fridge bursting with her inheritance. Her face drained of color. "Mama, where from?" she whispered, trembling. I looked at her calmly. "I was hungry, Quintessa. You took my card. I had to improvise." She stared, horror spreading across her face. I didn't flinch. I was no longer the prey. I was free. Days passed, and the house was mine. Every corner, every object reminded me that independence wasn't just financial, it was emotional, spiritual, and liberating. I no longer waited for permission to eat, to rest, to choose. I watched the sun set from the balcony with a glass of wine in hand, savoring the victory. The betrayal that once wounded me became a fuel sharper, hotter, stronger. It reminded me that I could survive, thrive, and reclaim what was mine without apology. Quintessa eventually left, her smugness gone, replaced by grudging respect. I wasn't bitter anymore. I was unstoppable. I learned that when someone tries to starve your spirit, the best revenge is not cruelty, but nourishment of body, soul, and self-respect. And that, dear listeners, is how I chose myself over betrayal, and finally tasted the sweet, rich flavor of victory.